Welcome back to Glowing Hour.
Howdy.
Hey, what's up? Today we got another mocktail for you.
Ending the year with a mocktail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at us go.
Cheers.
On our healthy shit. This is like a cherry, like a tart cherry mocktail. I know there's like that sleepy girl mocktail going around.
Oh.
It makes you
And
go to
you're making
sleep.
it. And here we are.
Here we are.
Trying something similar.
But you got to put magnesium in it for it to like really knock you out.
So add magnesium if you really want that. This is a dangerous cup.
Yeah.
I'm pleased.
It's easy to drink.
Yeah. Then the sugar rim really brings it together.
Makes it fun.
Yeah, it does.
Makes
Makes
festive.
it cocktaily. Yeah, with the time. With the T and an H. The time. And a Y.
Thyme.
Time of it all. Oh god.
Anyway. Okay. So, this is right after Christmas.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. With the year being, what's that? How does that sound go? That's on TikTok. And it's like the wrapped sound. And with the year coming to an end or some shit like that.
Is it like Hunger Games or something? What's it from? I don't know.
It's a good question. I never questioned it. Anyway,
Could just be someone saying it.
as the year is coming to an end, we thought instead of doing like, our cute little resolutions, more so like let's
Right.
reflect on the year. Like how did it go? What did we do? What did we learn? Most
Right.
of all.
I think we'll be like, so we're giving 5 joint lessons. I feel like we resonate to like all of them in
individually.
general. Yeah. Maybe you'll get some tea. I don't know. We'll see.
If you're here for tea, we'll see.
We'll see. You have to listen to the whole episode.
Okay, well, our first one is that your life is defined by your ability to handle uncertainty, which I gotta say I am not graceful at whatsoever, like at all.
Yeah.
But I think this year,
You learned that. You learned that it is a fact that it just is. Right?
like, you just gotta go with it.
Right.
You can't go against the grain with
You're
it.
not necessarily living it. You've just learned that this year. That,
I've learned that's
thing.
what I gotta do.
that exists. Right.
I feel like just so many things changed this year from like how I started my like decade of 20s.
We're going back to the decade.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like if I looked back at when I was 20
Oh my God,
and thought, holy shit, like this is where you are now. And I'm not saying in a good way
Why?
or in a bad way. It's just, it is what it
Okay.
is. Like I just would have
Okay.
never expected myself to be where I am.
At 20, right. I see.
And like with that said, like there's been a lot of uncertainty in a lot of areas of my life this year where it's really fucking uncomfortable. And I'm constantly having to remind myself to just like go with it. Fucking go with it.
Yeah.
I struggle so much with change, and I feel like I'm a person who like enjoys change when it's like controlled, I guess.
So when it's fun and
when
choice.
it's fun and like also when it's just like something positive change. When it's negative or I guess that's relative, right? I should not say that either.
Right.
But when it's change that causes discomfort, it's something that I don't know how to quite handle. And
Like, what do you, like, just anxiety, panic?
I think all of it, panic, anxiety. I think I fall into depression a lot. They say if you have depression, you're in the past, and if you have anxiety, you have future tense like
Worry.
thoughts and worries.
Yeah.
I'm a little of both, but I do feel like when it comes to change, I think I fall into depression, and like there is like the anxious thoughts, but it's more so just like this like utter like numbness of I don't know what's going to be happening with myself in the next couple of like weeks or days or whatever I'm feeling.
Yeah, but as you're saying, that's literally part of life. And it is
Well, that's
a
like
truth.
what your life is defined by, like
right.
all the changes that have ever happened to you. But it's just like so hard when you're in it. I feel like I said, everything has like a lot of things have shifted in my life, and a lot of things have brought a lot of uncertainty, and I've had to have like this practice with myself of like being okay with that, and just reminding myself that like this will be a different scenario at some point, and like the fact that the uncertainty, I'll go even as far as to say like the uncertainty and not knowing what to do is such a privilege.
Yeah,
because I saw somewhere like that it's a privilege to not know what to do with the rest of your life instead of being tied down and
having to do something. That's true.
And like creating a stagnant like space for yourself versus like this expansive,
the world is your oyster.
Yeah,
is literally that.
Yeah,
is that you can do anything. It's like an overwhelming thought to be uncertain of all that. And also I will say, I think a lot of people in their 30s and older, like just 30 and up or maybe 40s, crave the uncertainty and like the instability of being in your 20s, and like
that's why they say it's like knowing. So fun.
Yeah,
it was so fun to be your 20s.
I'm like right
because it's so fun to experience that right now.
But like it is.
But it is.
We are gonna look back and genuinely, and same thing about being 16 years old. It was like, oh my god, like all this angst is so annoying. Like I'm going through all these hormones and like boys and
I think
whatever.
I found that part of it, uncertainty, so exciting though, and like I don't know when I got caught up in feeling so like
probably society
negative about it.
Probably society and like what you're supposed to do, because when you're 17, you're supposed to be angsty and lost and confused,
and now you're supposed to have your shit together
technically
and not feel lost,
right?
Yeah.
But that's made up, and it's not even true for most people in our fucking generation.
Dude, I feel yeah
I think that's where it was.
Fucking real, like. And you just gotta run with it.
That is the lesson.
Do anything else.
You have to, yeah.
Like, it's not going to change the situation. You're still uncertain.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I keep thinking about, like, okay, I don't know. I think was it Logan? I think Logan did, like, this, like, exercise with me because I was having, like, I don't want to say a panic attack, but I was having an anxiety attack about something. Or, like, a depressive episode. I can't even remember what it was. But she did this exercise where, like, she was telling me to open a door, look at how expansive it is, and then go forward, you find another door, look at how expansive that is, and then like keep going and make the space bigger and bigger and bigger. And when I did that, I got more anxious than I did like,
I got anxious thinking about it.
Yeah, it's like what's wrong with us? Because some people would see that as like the world is so big, and it's I also got anxious
thinking about the opposite, like if the door kept getting smaller. I was like, oh my god, what if the door opened and it was smaller and then smaller and smaller? Right, so it doesn't work for us, but
it doesn't work for me. That made me so anxious. I just have to like
I'm gonna cry. That's hilarious.
It's supposed to show you like, you know, the endless opportunity of life,
like a blank white room. That makes me
so anxious.
Like maybe we have to imagine like what I imagine my life being as I further it. You know what I mean? That would be better. Like family, how, like imagining those things as they grow, like grandkid, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Even then,
anxiety. I think I like also just like try, and then like I got in my wanting to control shit brain, I like then started to think about like the ocean. Okay, like think about the ocean and how big it is, and then I was like thinking about it, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so scared.
Sharks, fish, I'm good.
Anyway,
I think that also we both have like, well, I mean, I'll speak for myself. I have a thing for control and wanting things to be, I guess, on my watch and my decisions, whatever. Which it's interesting watching my niece grow up. Not to throw her under the bus because she's a lot like me, but it's interesting seeing what I was told I was like as a kid. As a now I'm an adult.
Yeah.
And I'm like, life could be so simple for you.
If you just stop.
If you just acknowledge the fact that you can't control everyone and everything. I feel like that's part of your life is defined by your ability to handle uncertainty, because the only thing you can control is your reactions.
Your own reactions,
that's a similar way of saying it. And I think it's really hit home this year.
Yeah.
Like, stop trying to control things, go with the flow. Never been a go with the flow person. I've always had an idea.
Yeah. I think though, like the difference between you and I think I was shameful about that, and I think you were very much like, this is just how it is, babe. You know? And I'm like, no, I'm actually really go with the flow. Meanwhile, I'm like fucking counting my way through things.
You said no, let's chill.
It's just fine.
And I'm like, what do you mean we're not doing that? I love that for us.
Next lesson.
Some seasons of life are truly about transitioning, and embracing it is the only thing we can do, which I think that's similar, but I think it's more so on the front of transition, like transition periods. Yeah. Like, we're lost right now, and that's okay. And I think it's also comforting, maybe not to some, but like comforting that you'll go through multiple transitions in your life. It's not like this is it and I need to get over it and then I'll be like me.
Oh, wait, you mean after this I just won't be perfect?
You won't be perfect. There will be more.
Thanks.
More perfecting. More chiseling at that stone.
Fuck, dude, I'm tired.
Carpal tunnel.
Can someone else do it?
Yeah, I just think it's like, I don't know, you think about all the transitions you're gonna go through in life. Like, 1, being a homeowner. 2, graduating college is a different transition in your life. Being in a relationship, finding your partner forever, or just dating losers for a bit. That's a transition, right? Between that
transition period.
Yeah.
Girlies, we're in a transition period.
Girlies, we're just in a transition. I'm just a girl and I'm just going through a transition in my life. Don't blame me. And that's all we can do, is acknowledge, like, you know what? This is a period of my life where maybe I don't have all the answers. Which we never will. Right, but also in terms of whatever it is you're transitioning
to.
Yeah.
I think about how my brain is so different now in terms of like those transitions in life. Like, I feel like for a long time, I'm so comfortable in my relationship. I like love Logan so much. Obviously, like, I've always seen this as forever. Mm-hmm. But I think the thought of forever was always so scary to me. And like, I feel like I've talked about this on the podcast. Like, the thought of marriage, really scary, even though that's something that I've wanted or whatever. Even like buying a house. It was also scary.
Yeah.
And now I'm more like on the other end of like, oh, no, it's fine. Like, I think my brain transitioned over to like,
it's finally there.
Let's maybe
let's put some roots down.
Let's put some roots now.
Okay.
Get that sperm locked in.
Yes. Baby daddies.
What else, man? Getting married.
You got a ring.
Get that ring on.
A ceremony of sorts.
Like, not to say, like, it feels weird to say that I'm ready, but like, also like my brain's starting to like move.
You know when you know.
You know when you know, and when you don't know.
You don't know.
You know that you don't know.
In this case, yes. You did, in fact, find out and know.
But I don't know, it's just like I could feel
that's exciting.
Like, I had weird thoughts. Like, I would listen to or watch things about children and I'm like, oh my god. That sounds weird.
Yeah.
Like, I would listen to like parents talk about their kids or like watch movies about children and
you're like, can't relate. It sounds horrible.
Before.
Yeah.
And now I'm like,
you said I get to do that?
How cool would it be to have a daughter?
But wait.
Ew. That came out of my mouth. You know what I mean? Like, but that's how I'm feeling. And I'm going through the transition.
You didn't feel... Okay. Now I'm like, do I know or do I not know? Like, where am I?
Where am I on the scale of
Where am I on the scale of this transition? Because, like, I've always wanted a kid, right?
Right.
And I'm like, that's great. But do you, like, you feel like it's a transition from, like, the idea is cute to, like, genuinely.
Like, I want that.
Oh my god,
it's scary.
She's getting kicked off the podcast. She's too grown up.
No,
it's just me.
Watch my opinion change tomorrow.
You see, you know what? I've had some time to reflect.
Okay, but then I think that, and then I'm like, oh my god, that's really scary.
Well,
like, I feel like
they say you'll never be ready though.
I'm gonna be a person that's like mourning my old life. Like,
fair. Literally. I think everyone should, though. To be honest, I think we should all have a funeral when someone gets pregnant.
Miss Tories. God damn it.
We still have one. Honestly, that's kind of a funny idea. All right, first friend group, I'm throwing a funeral. Is that morbid? I don't care.
Okay, wait, how about this? It depends on the order that people do it. We could still have one for Tori when she gets married.
No, that's worse.
Oh, because I was gonna say we could do like a hospice situation for like marriage, and then when you have a kid, it's like you gotta mourn it, girl. You just gotta put it away.
You're on the ventilator, babe.
This is morbid as fuck, but like
kind of really funny.
But that's where we're
like at. Fuck Dirty 30. We're doing funeral baby. God, that is so sad.
That sounds really bad.
I'm not saying a baby's dying. God for no.
Not that.
The life. We're grieving the life.
The life before motherhood.
But in a joyful way. Like, in a way of like, girl, we're making do the thing.
Like, that's so crazy.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Since ours is going to be so planned, it can be that way. You know what I mean? But then, like, you guys will know. No, that's not going to work.
Wait, that's how you announce? You're like, come over, I'm having a party. It's a fucking... You said we're all black. It's a fucking
you'll know. You'll know when you know.
I'm like, all black?
All black now?
Okay. Thank God, I'm dead. Okay.
Moving on. Next is confrontation, or addressing an issue if you're triggered by confrontation as a word. Does it need to be scary? Okay, let me just first start.
Let's talk about the word.
Let's talk the tiff about fucking confrontation. I feel personally,
yeah.
I mean, I agree. It has a negative connotation.
Yes, factually it does.
Factually it does. We not urban dictionary, but dictionary.
We Googled it.
But I don't think it needs to be. Why does confrontation such a negative like thing? Like it's just going towards something or someone that you have conflict with, not like fighting them, but just addressing the issue.
Right.
You're like, I can't agree.
I don't know. Like, the word confrontation it's almost Bible. You know what I mean? Like, that's in the dictionary. Like, hostile, the word in confrontation. So for me, I'm like, I just can't use it because universally we're all saying it's negative as a society, right? So what did Logan say earlier? She said, standing up for yourself. Which, like, isn't relevant to my reason for having this as a lesson for the year. Really? Maybe a little. But, like, okay, in general, whether you guys like the word or not.
I think confrontation, let's just use it as, like, addressing conflict.
Right.
That's the...
Confronting an issue.
Confronting an issue.
As a verb, if you would prefer.
But anyway, that's something we both learned. Well... Well, let me just start quickly. Mine's fast. I have never been really scared of confrontation.
Right.
So this like doesn't fully apply, but I do feel like I've learned confrontation in the ways that I'm talking about it, where it doesn't need to be a hostile environment. It's not my first year of not being hostile.
Don't worry.
But I think I've like
I've solidified this year. Maybe.
I like very much softened. You know, I'm like before I was like softened butter, and now I'm like liquid butter.
That's room temp right there.
Room temp.
Melted butter.
Melted. I harden up a little bit though. If you really like, then we'll have confrontation. You know what I mean? If you like,
if there's a fight that needs to be had, we're no longer confronting. We're fighting.
We're fighting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For me, confrontation. That word alone, I'm like, nope, don't know her, never heard of her. I'd rather just keep my peace and because then I have to deal with it. You know what I mean? I don't like the consequences of my own actions.
It'll eat at me. I need to solve it.
No, not I mean, depending, right? Like, obviously, if I think someone like cheated on me, I'm gonna confront the
like confrontation. No.
Right? Like, come on,
go on, babe.
There's some things that need to be confronted. But yeah, I think so. For me in this case, I recently reconnected, which we've talked about a little bit. I don't know what episode, but recently reconnected with someone I really love, and I was so scared for literally years about confronting, quote unquote, because like to me, and that's the thing too, when even using it as a verb, like doesn't feel like it was a confrontation with this person, because like I don't know. It just didn't. The word just doesn't feel right.
You were confronting conflict with someone, though.
I was.
That's by definition just issue. Like not the hostile part,
right?
And that's the part that I'm saying. Why do we have to add that word?
Why do we put that in? Why is it in the Merriam?
Why is it in there? Anyway, you confronted conflict with somebody.
Yeah,
and you were scared of it.
And I was scared because I was scared. I mean, honestly, I was scared that there was more conflict than there was at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's scary when you just open a can of worms and it just keeps coming out.
I thought it was going to be a can of worms, but it turns out it was more like a can of tuna.
It's flat.
It's like, oh, we agree. Would you look at that? We're both just sitting in there looking up at each other like, oh, what's up? It was interesting. So, yeah, I think it was just like, if something is worth confrontation, I guess.
Confronting.
Confronting someone about, and you think about it often, I think it's worth it always to get an answer, regardless of if it's the outcome you wanted or not. I think it's worth it. Also, that being said, the person and the time that passed, like, we both agree that the time was necessary. So, like, I think you just know when you know. That's going to be the lesson. The lesson is you know when you know.
Lesson number 6. When you know, you know.
Truly. Yeah. Okay, next. Just do the scary thing. Put yourself out there. This one is major. Was it this year that I did my modeling thing?
Yeah, in the beginning of the year.
Wow, I did the scary thing. I forgot about that entirely until now. But I was thinking about pottery. I'm always thinking about pottery.
It wasn't scary, but I feel like it was a thing that was like constantly
daunting a little.
Yeah.
In a few different ways. Like, what if we're bad at it? What if it costs too much money? What if it takes too much time? What if I don't meet cool people? Or like, I don't know, you'd like have all these expectations of trying something new.
Right.
I mean, I had a good experience. The pieces I made, not my favorite, but that's fine. But also, we were rushed.
They looked cute.
They were cute, but I had higher hopes in the glazing process, and that is just part of the process. I literally wanted an airbrush, and I was a student in the class. Like, they were like, "Fuck off." Yeah, keep dreaming,
girl.
But yeah, I think your big thing is way more scary than anything I did this year.
Yeah, I guess. Well, first of all, I think a big thing for me was also like the beginning of the year. Mm-hmm. I didn't even think about this before right now, but like the beginning of the year, I complete like, obviously we still had Glow Getter going on, sort of.
Oh yeah.
But I completely like shifted in something that I wanted to do, like in terms of a job.
Like, yeah.
Which I can't believe it's been a whole year of doing that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of crazy. Anyway. And then
I mean, we quit Glow Getter this year too, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. That's also a scary thing, is I think we were both scared to let go.
Yeah.
Of Glow Getter.
Sometimes it's not starting something, it's ending something.
Yeah.
God.
If you want to know more about that, we have an episode called We Quit, I think.
Yes.
That was tough. Mm-hmm. That was scary. We put ourselves out there in a different way.
We did. I mean, this whole podcast also is like,
yeah,
putting ourselves out there all the time.
Yeah, no, but I think for me, this one really resonates with like my passions and like just like ideas and coming back to things that I loved as a kid, or like things that I've loved through my lifetime, of exploring those things a little bit more. On a sillier note, like I just realized that I did like bowling as a bowling league all year.
Right.
And I was so good at Wii bowling.
It's Wii?
No, like Wii Sports, but like Wii bowling.
But that's what you guys are playing on.
No.
Okay, we're doing like, real bowling. Are you fucking kidding me? This whole time you've been going to someone's house and playing Wii bowling? Why are you paying? I was like, make it make sense, Mel.
No, it was real bowling.
Okay, period.
Anyway.
But now you realize you're good at Wii bowling?
I was good at bowling on the Wii Sports, but like it's just interesting that like I went back
it translates.
To a little passion project that I did when I was a kid. Anyway,
Wii bowling was amazing.
Side note. And then the other things were like acting. I like went to acting classes.
That part is crazy to me.
It's kind of nuts when I think about it. I'm like, oh my god, I did that for a few months.
Literally.
I want to go back. It's just money's a little tight.
Yeah.
But I feel like it really did expand like my confidence, I guess, like, or like my ability, or my humility, I should say. I think everybody should be humbled a little bit in their humility and learn to be low-key humiliated.
Wow.
Because I feel like that's where you grow the most, like when you're okay with the uncomfortableness of thinking and being like criticized.
Perceived.
Because that's like my absolute fear, is like just always thinking about what other people are thinking of me. And this was like, girl, well, put yourself on stage.
So do you feel like you've moved past it?
I think
maybe not entirely, but
not entirely. I think I'm still working on it, but I do think I care less, a lot less.
The whole podcast, we care a lot. I care a lot less, though.
I care a lot less. So yeah, I did that, and then obviously we did pottery together, which less scary when you have a friend to do it. But
that's true. It did make it less scary.
Yeah, I think overall it was the year of doing passionate things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, scary. I mean, and also like I think this year also I've like really put myself out with trying to like connect with people that like I had like small connections with and trying to grow those on too, which is like interesting. And like I've met other people through that. Who knows? I didn't tell you, but the other day yesterday Jacob invited us to hang out and stuff, and we met another queer couple, which was really cool.
From him?
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
Another lesbian couple, and
they live around here.
They live in Echo Park, and it's just like they're really fun.
Dude, we need to go to that Italian place in Echo Park.
Which one?
Or Silver? No, it's Echo Park. Echo Park? Yeah. The one I sent you guys on Instagram. It's like Italian in between Lowboy and Bar Flores, probably.
Yeah.
That should look bussin'.
It looked bussin'.
I'm not gonna lie. There's a long line. Whatever, anyway.
Anyway, I met new people through him, and I just feel like if I don't spend time with new people that way, like I won't continue to meet, you know?
Yeah.
It's just being doing the scary thing just makes you expansive.
It's interesting too, thinking about all this advice. Moms just know, man. Moms just know. My mom, she would tell me, like, I don't know, 2021 probably, like, why don't you like go out and like do things and like meet new people and like go out, like basically all you do is spend time with Mel and Logan and like your friends you already know from high school. Like, why don't you expand your circle a little? Like, yeah, in terms of like close-knitness.
I also don't think that's like a problem, but
no, she wasn't saying it like, I think she was like also thinking like networking and like go out. Like, don't just sit at home and hang out together. Like, maybe go out and like do a networking event together, or like just be at things like the wine thing we went to, like stuff like that, like, which we talked about wanting to do more, which is like something scary, doing the scary things, putting yourself out there. But also it's a lot less scary when you do it with someone else, which maybe isn't like the lesson, like always have someone to do something scary with, but it does make it easier if it's like just like small things or like dipping your toes into something. But anyways, so it's just funny, like, hearing that advice for the past 2 years, not like consistently or anything, but just like in general, like, why don't you guys like go out and just like meet a bunch of people, which like is so much easier said than done. Like, how, like, sometimes it just happens when it's supposed to happen, because like God's telling me, yeah, go out, try and find a man. Have I? No. Am I going to the wrong places? Maybe. I don't know, but I'll know when I know, right?
You'll know when you know.
When I meet him out and about at some place I've never been to, I'll know that I was. So anyways, it's just funny. You're like, yeah, like expanding the horizons.
Yeah
Definitely.
And
I think that's part of doing something scary,
for sure,
because like you're like, I'm always interested in acting, but now you actually know people who are also interested in acting.
But also, like, I've learned whether or not I'm interested in acting still. You know, like, it was always just a question in my mind.
Yeah.
Like, you really enjoyed films and, like, the psychology of, like, going into character and things like that. From what I've had seen. I didn't know that yet. But, like, it's just interesting.
Yeah. You learn more about yourself trying new things.
Absolutely. Lastly, this is a big one for me. I don't know if this is a big one for you, but
I think in
a different sense. Leave people as they are.
Yeah.
I feel like it's been really difficult as control freaks as we are to, like, I think we always want to fix or have some type of resolution with somebody, or the way that they view things or whatever it is. And this year I really just learned, like, take a step back and let them just be as they are, because you can't change anybody, but I think you get stuck on, like, I just want things to be better.
Yeah. Like for them
or for us or whatever. And like, you just got to let that person figure it out for themselves. Or if it's something that's like, you're wanting the situation to be fixed or feel better, and they're just meeting you with not the same energy that you're trying to go into it with, like, let them be. Because that's all that they can do right now. And, like, the only thing you can do is react. That's the only thing you can control is your reaction to things. And so moving forward, anytime somebody makes me uncomfortable or I'm not pleased with the way that they're moving about things, I can leave the situation, leave them as they are. And just my reaction is to step aside Or I can't say, hey, I don't think that this is right or whatever, but
yeah,
I can't expect anything from it.
Yeah, you can't expect them to be like, you're right, I'm wrong, and I'm going to change. Or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, I think for me, it's like just acknowledging and like emotionally releasing the attachment to what I wish for people.
Yeah.
Because like that literally does nothing. It's like a waste of
energy.
Wishing.
Yeah.
Like manifestation is a thing, and like, right, wishing that person was different. You could be manifesting something awful for them. Maybe the reason they are the way they are is because they're meant to be that fucking way. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's also not anyone's decision how anyone else is or why they are the way they are. Like there's just so many bigger picture things that I've realized like are unnecessary to me selfishly wanting something to be different. Because I think that's what it comes down to is like selfishly, I just wish this was like easy for me. Like it's literally like,
that's actually true.
Like, why can't you just be my person? Like if it's a romantic person, like why can't you just not be like that and like realize I'm the perfect person?
Yeah.
Or like if it comes to non-romantic relationships, like why don't you just agree with me? Like why are we just not on the same page?
Yeah.
And it's like we just aren't. And that's fine. And I have a decision to make based on that specific issue.
God. I think two things come up with like that sentiment is like people can only meet you as far as they've met themselves.
Yeah.
And also like I would go even as far as to say with like leave people as they are is just like love them for where they are at. Because like that is like that's all you can do. Like just
that's all they can do,
and
too.
that's all they can receive right now too.
Yeah.
Like you can't do anything else.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. It does come from like sometimes like a selfishness spot of not wanting to sit in the uncomfortableness that person can maybe create, and you want to change things to make it easier for you, and you can just step aside and let the person be
who they
are.
Yeah.
Ultimately, everyone will show up the way that they
can
and the way that they genuinely are, and like you can't really do anything about it.
Also, like the meeting people where they're at makes me think about like it's not one, a competition, but like two, like it doesn't even mean like, oh, we'll meet them where they're at because they're below you or like whatever, you know. Sometimes I think about that, like, because I don't think certain people are necessarily below, they just have different struggles, you know what I mean? It's like you're struggling with something I don't understand, and that's what makes you someone that it's difficult to be around or whatever the case. It doesn't mean like I know so much more than them and like I'm coming to them with this like that's also the part of like the selfishness of like who says I'm the one that's right. I mean, I do because that's me, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't even mean that I'm the one that's necessarily right. Obviously this is situational.
I don't even think you got to meet people though where they're at. I think you can. I think what I had said was like
people can only meet themselves. Yeah.
As far as
I meant like where they're at doesn't mean that where I'm at, like where I've met myself is better than where they've met themselves. Sorry, that's what I meant.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I'm not saying that I am better than anybody that I feel that way about, but it's more so like if I'm trying to show them a certain type of relationship and be there and, you know, work on things together, but they feel defensive and upset or like it triggers something in them. If I'm genuinely coming from a place of love and they can't meet me with like the same type of energy of love and trying to do that, like sometimes it does come down to like self-awareness, but like in general, I can't make them. And I think about this with myself too, is like people can tell me, you know, I'm worthy and like I'm do great things in the world, whatever. If I can't meet myself, like if I'm not there, those things can't meet, like they won't penetrate me. They don't register. Like they can only meet me as far as I've met myself.
There, yeah.
No.
Right.
You know.
And it doesn't make you less than those people, like whatever.
No, absolutely not. It's just where I'm at.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Valid point. Very valid point.
Like I wouldn't say that we're any better than a 16-year-old who doesn't know anything about the world yet.
I'm just kidding. I was like,
you said, wait a minute.
No, but that's true because they have a different perspective that is valuable in its own right. They're just
where they're at right now.
Yeah.
And you can't really do much more than that.
God, some 16-year-olds though. Scary.
I'm I'm scared of y'all.
Let's see, we're scared of you teenagers, but
anyways.
Hopefully these lessons have, I don't know, resonated. Maybe you learned them just by us saying them. I don't know. Maybe you're going through it and you're like, I don't have words to put to that thing I learned this year.
Here it is.
Here you go. Hopefully next year the lessons are, I don't even know what I wish. Bountiful, positive.
I hope they're like so exciting lessons. Like,
yeah, like
I feel like a lot of these things are like
so
hard.
amazing. You do great things. I learned that I am super smart.
I learned that I'm great at this and I have skills in this, or that like I really enjoy this place of the planet.
Okay, well, we do have those. We do have some of those. Okay. But those are like so niche, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, we haven't talked about polls in a minute, so on this episode, maybe say what you learned this year. What was the biggest thing that you learned? I'd love to know, because then maybe I'll be like, oh, me too, or oh, not there yet.
Not there yet. Haven't met that yet.
Yeah, good for you though.
Good for you. But for real, yeah, just leave your lesson for the year. Doesn't have to be 5. It could be 1.
Yeah.
But with that said, Happy New Year. We will see you in the new year. And I hope you feel excited and just ready for this new energy. Mm-hmm. I know we often say like you don't need to reset yourself or restart as a new person for the new year, but it's just nice when the energy's all the same. Everyone's feeling like,
yeah, there's a lightness a reset now sometimes.
Here. Yeah.
Sometimes it's heavy, like, oh my god, the pressure. But look at it with the lightness. Everyone's feeling
feeling the vibes.
Everyone's feeling energetic about it. Keep it going past January.
Keep it going. That's a hard part. Anyway, we'll catch you guys in the next episode in the new year.
Bye.
Bye.